If you are not sure, I don't blame you because it's hard to know. Are you with the right person in your life? I'd like to ask people because I see marriages everywhere around the world, and I would love to know how happily married they are, or are they not happy at all? There's got to be an in between somewhere, especially if you have children together. There's got to be a certain bond that nobody can break, obviously. Even your children cannot do that. They are separate people, and it probably feels not so much like you're in love with each other as a uh, spouse with spouse, but you must have like a very big responsibility feeling. And so when it comes down to is it yes or is it no, are you with the right person? I'd like to know the answer. And I just want to save people's happiness because I really feel like, my goodness, there's one thing about having to share your life with somebody you're madly in love with or somebody you just can't part with. That is one. Okay, well, that's it. You really have to still give in. Now, when it comes down to being with somebody else and you're in love with somebody else, oh my God, that must be really hard to be married to somebody else when the right one comes along. Like that must have happened before, considering they wrote such a good song regarding it, the issue. It's huge. Um, I see divorces, like especially in Hollywood, some of the big people who get divorced, and then you wonder, how hard is that for the other person? For example, can I say people's names? Is it okay to talk about rich and famous people? It must be if they have not cut off my slash videos um, ever, probably for that reason. But I'm speaking about somebody who is rich and famous and not me. Besides me, when it comes down to, like, say, for example, can I give um, Tom Cruise and his wife. Now, what is her name? Isn't that funny? That he probably wore the pants in the family and he was the bigger name. He was the more prominent actor, the more famous actor. So, and I know her. Everybody knows her. The blonde beauty that used to be married to Tom Cruise and now he's married to Kate Hudson. Hmm. I wonder why I remembered her name. Maybe because it ends with Hudson. Is that the same family slash? Is she part of your relative line or just a coincidence? How could that be coincidence? They're spelt the same. If there was somebody walking around anywhere in the world for Savage, if they were wearing the name for Savage, I'd say, well, you obviously have to be related to my for Savage family. How can we connect? Where do we fit in between? There's got to be a line of people along the way. So if you're a for Savage, look out with God's Kingdom of Heaven. Miss Kathleen Persovich here definitely does own God's Kingdom of Heaven. And I am also known as Jesus Christ, the returned Master of God, and the beautiful kingdom of heaven that he has throughout the world. I wanted to come back on video because I thought to myself something else came to mind, that it's another issue, and I really believe in issues and discussing them with whomever. And since I'm discussing everything with the whole world, I may as well continue on with my live talk show. I should start inviting people over for interviews. That would really be interesting. I'd get right into it, especially if someone like knock, 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 Slash walked in the door one day and said, here I am, an interview. I'd have to sort of share this small little space right here. Maybe I'd have him sit on the bed and I'd turn the video like this way and machine, and I'd sort of sit over here and show less of me. But we'd have to kind of like get really close together, and I'd share the microphone back and forth. I'd share the microphone back and forth like this to, to Slash. I'd share the microphone, and I'd move my microphone over this way I'd move my microphone over to his direction as if he was sitting right there. So so we'd have to be really almost nose to nose touching. That would be a very touching video. I'm sure the world would enjoy that one. I sure would. I'd probably be going for a piece of gum to make sure my breath was okay, and I'd be holding my legs, my knees together, making sure that I wasn't trying to push him into something since we're so close to a bed and behind closed doors. I'd have to be very careful. Maybe he'd bring his guitar. Would he have room in his uh, life for me to bring his guitar to my door? Oh, dreams can come true, I hope. Sometimes they do. And you may as well give it a try to make them come true in your life, at least by talking about them and fantasizing about them. I move around a lot because, like I said, this is not news to anyone. A video recorder, such as a laptop, is very environmentally friendly. And do I look like a lion? I love lions. Actually, Slash's horoscope, I think he's a Leo, and the beautiful line personality that he has, it matches him very well. I'm just looking at my hair color and how it's so much like a lion's mane. Maybe I should be a Leo instead of an Aquarius. And Aquarius matches me a lot too. From what I've read about Aquarians, we're very free and we're not as possessive as Leos, but maybe there's something new to be learned about Aquarius people, that we're even more obsessive with everything. Obsessive, but maybe we're more like the claw monster than I've read very few Aquarian write-ups. And I think because I thought, no, I know it's just one person giving an opinion. That's what they write. They should write in each horoscope column. They should say, this is my opinion only as a writer, has nothing to do with you. Sometimes I write negative things, sometimes I write positive things, but I get feedback from everything that I feel as a writer, and so therefore I could be saying anything about anybody. So be careful about the horoscopes, because I've seen them and all of a sudden they get really negative and they're talking about a world of Aquarians and not just one, two, or three of them. So be very aware about the horoscope and don't pay too much attention to it regarding just personally for you that they're talking about you, because it could be way off one day and okay the next. So as I'm having fun, I thought about why I started another video. Very simple. This is one good reason. The big famous company of Blue Menu, Menu Bleu. Menu Bleu? Oh, I'm reading the French side. Blue Menu and its President's Choice line. It's one of President's Choices, by which the big name companies, the big grocery stores, Loblaws, No Frills is the low one from Loblaws. There's Fortino's is another sidekick of theirs. So Fortino's, Loblaws, and No Frills. I think they all sell the Blue Menu. I happened to be a very lucky lady the other day on Saturday when I went in to pick up my 35 millimeter pictures, negatives, and prints, by which the one that I didn't get the CDs in, me and Anna, you remember this issue? And Loblaws, the Real Canadian Superstore is what the store brand name is, and this is where the Blue Menu case came in. I'll let you know the rest of the story right here as I explain. I'll turn back, pick up my little box. It's quite the empty box now. Was I keeping the empties? Oh, I've got two more. See, I just put two in the freezer at 7:15 p.m. I'm speaking freezer. I put them in there so it would get really cold as fast as possible, and I took them out at about 7:50 p.m. It is now 8:06, so between the 30 to 35 minutes that they were in the freezer, I hope that they didn't slush up, because if they do, you can't spill it out of your can. This is Blue Menu, and it is a drink. It's a sparkling water, sodium-free, calorie-free, with natural flavor, Mandarin Orange. Now, I know that when I was in the store on Saturday, I did not buy this, and I had no plans of buying it. I had plans only of buying my photographs together as a threesome. 3 CDs, 3 packs of prints, and 3 negatives. But of course, the CD didn't come in. So to shorten that little story of my CD instead of repeating it each time, the man who was dealing with me, I was in there for about 3 hours. Anna, the manager, it was her day off, and Saturdays usually are, I think, most of the time she's the manager, but still comes in, and she's usually, this is a real good one, managers that allow their staff to phone the manager when it's the manager's day off or she's in a meeting, that they're allowed to phone her. Way to go. What a good example of a thorough, well organized, committed, dedicated, and holy manager. I'll tell you, there are managers you never get to meet them. They're never around the job long enough. They really don't want to be a manager that way. I can understand a general manager, how much they have to do. I met one the other day at our meeting, the Toronto Low-Income Housing meeting, and he is a general supervisor for all of, if I got it right, Olu. Is that his name, if I remember correctly? He's the general manager of all of the Toronto district low-income housing addresses. And there's like, I think he said like 25 or 28 of them, like 27. I could be right, wrong, and you're in between, but there's a lot of these cul-de-sac places. Cul-de-sac. I am not sure why I'm using the word cul-de-sac, just because, like, what is it called when you've got a bunch of apartment buildings together? Complex. So that's the word I should be using. Complexes, different apartment complexes. Maybe there's apartments of low income housing where there's only one building. That could be true too. But coming back to this beautiful drink, so there's 2 more I'm going to be putting in my fridge. Don't keep these in the refrigerator, the freezer, too long, because they do slush up. And anyway, if you want a good drink, mix this with the powdered stuff. I just found this out because when I opened this, when I got home or cooled it, I was really disappointed. It's not sweet, and which is good. I chose it because of that I didn't want a bunch of sugar. But I've also been keeping the Crystal Light with Splenda, the packages of the little pull out, and they really went to town inventing this stuff and making it convenient. The little packages that you cut open and spill in and make juice. You make pop. You make this drink, Crystal Light. It's fantastic. It also works with Lipton white tea to go. Same idea, same design. The little packages that are wrapped, and they fit all this incredible little information on it. Big information. It's really important. And they even put a cut in there so you're ready to know where to put the scissors. You spill it in and mix it like Kool-Aid, but it's really tasty, and it makes this sparkling carbonated water more flavored. So I put 2 cans of this and 1 package of that, where I believe they direct you to put 500 mils, and this ends up being a little bit more. 2 cans times 355. Good drink. Try it out.